Hello, Bobs. We're back with more books. New book arrivals, number 191. And I know it may seem like overkill, but what's that to me? The Tenants of Moonbloom by Edward Lewis Wallant, author of The Pawnbroker. Great Time Magazine. Mailer, Bellow, Salinger, and Roth. Wallant must now be added to the list. Except I think he died. At the time of his early tragic death at the age of 36, Edward Lewis Wallant had completed 4 novels. Each in its own way is a masterpiece. Popular Library is proud to publish The Tenants of Moonbloom, one of the important novelistic triumphs of our day. I probably wouldn't have even picked it up if it wasn't a vintage book. What do you figure, 70s, 60s, 63? 63 is the latest I see on here. Yeah. No, 63, buddy. Not a very long book. And title I've never heard of before. There's another title I've never heard of. The Santa Roga Barrier by Frank Herbert. I don't know if it's got any value, but it's in pretty good shape, even despite the splittings in the spine. 1988. It looks obviously older, but I'm not a fan of Dune or science fiction, but yeah, decent copy. Ditto with this, J.R.R. Tolkien, The Hobbit. This vintage copy. Everyone knows Bilbo Baggins was the Hobbit. Another vintage book in the same vein. And I missed the box. Oh, shit, that's right. This is why I didn't get this before. It's got writing all throughout it. You son of a bitch. He's laughing at me. Look at that. Yeah, that's why I didn't pick this up before. When I got it today, I was like, I wonder why I didn't get that last time. That's why. A Companion to Shakespeare Studies, edited by H. Granville Barker and G.B. Harrison. Nice anchor book. In what year? 60s? Gotta figure 60s. 60. 1960. A golden year, bruv. Nice spine. Not too much damage to it. There you go. Dirty Harry. Death on the Docks, Dane Hartman. I looked it up. It's probably worth $10, but in this condition, probably a little less. Though, to my way of thinking, if I can find another copy or in the series, and bulk them up. Otherwise, they go on a shelf and wait to be discarded when I die. 500 Best Irish Jokes and Limericks, illustrated by Doug Anderson. What an Irish sounding name. Doug. Hey, Doug. There are 500 of the very best one-liners, groaners, shaggy dogs, and limericks. Oh, and the pages are fucking falling out. You son of a bitch. You dirty bastard. Sonnet. A poetess living in Trim possesses a peculiar whim. She wears a large bonnet when writing a sonnet and a helmet when writing a hymn. I like it, bruvs. It's a good one. I like it. Maybe I can read these awful things on the channel just to be annoying. You know, what's more annoying than that? And I can wreck the book now because the pages are frickin' falling out. The Ayn Rand Library, the Ayn Rand Lexicon, Objectivism from A to Z. I probably have this already, but when I entered it into Libib, it said no. So I picked it up. I think I actually have a hard copy cover of this. A lot of people aren't fans of Rand, but I like her. Metaphysical versus man-made. And she was right, even if you don't confess to a philosophy that is your philosophy, the lack of, or the lack thereof. What the fuck, when something wipes off like that and it looks... Don't like that at all. Choke by Chuck Palahniuk. As you'll see, I picked up quite a few. If you recall last week, I picked up a couple signed hardcovers. I was hoping for more. I actually did find another one or two Palahniuk hardcovers, but they had moisture exposure to them, so I said, F them. Did not look in these to see if any of these were signed, but I doubt they are. But you never know, bruv. You never know. I thought I had this somewhere in my piles of stuff, but that's that. Ditto with Lullaby, but I don't... None of them showed up when I libibbed them. Libibbed. So I got them anyway, because they're in decent shape. The ones that weren't in good shape, like Fight Club, and there's another one I don't recall, but I think I did get a copy of Rant that was signed. Could just put that jacket on there. This one I've never even seen before, Doomed. Like Edgar Allan Poe, Palahniuk is a bracingly toxic purveyor of dread and mounting horror. He makes nihilism fun. Literally never have heard of this book. Don't know when it came out. He's got short titles, doesn't he? Maybe I'll try to read one of his books. Here is it, 2013. After a botched Halloween ritual, Madison Spencer, the snarkiest dead girl in the universe, finds herself trapped in purgatory. Sounds like damn tomfoolery. Or as Russell Brand says, nutcrackery. What did I see in here? What is this? Oh, anti-theft device. Nice. You better pull out without injuring my book. You bastard son of a bitch. Put that on my crackers. Anyone tries to steal my goddamn crackers. What is this? Damned. Author of Fight Club. Madison is the 13-year-old daughter of a narcissistic film star and a billionaire. That's for like a series of these. Madison Spencer. Not particularly interested in reading them, but and I prefer the hardcover, but as I've always said, I will always grab hardcover and softcover. Because why not? 50 cents for a book. I said it's $5 to ship any books now. More or less. What does this even say? Tell all? She's crying letters, buddy. And Sexton, 45 Mercy Street, edited by Linda Gray Sexton. Obviously the book that came out after her death. So begins The Big Boots of Pain, a magnificent, enriching poem from the collection Anne Sexton was in the process of completing at the time of her death. It is a hauntingly intense and immediate statement, and it epitomizes the intensity and immediateness that are the hallmarks of 45 Mercy Street. For in these poems, Anne Sexton returns to the kind of elevated, purifying exposure of self that characterizes her finest early work, and which has won her singular renown as an artist. I mean, it's basically a first edition, if I'm not wrong. This just shows you how dumb booksellers are who go to the store I go to. They did not pick this up. Not saying it's worth a lot, but it's worth more than the 50 cents I paid. And outside of the awful jacket, the book appears pretty good. I could probably swap it with another book. Where was that jacket I had? Will that fit you, bruv? It looks like it will. See if I can get it on there. And there we are, bruvs. It looks much nicer. Not a perfect fit, as you can see. There's now a double line there, but at least it's protected. I should probably take it off and try to clean it up. It looks a little dirty. But when you close the tears, it looks way better. Now it's protected. Is that? Yeah. Much better. Probably put one on this book too. Slow Learner by Thomas Pynchon. Not for resale. I don't know if this is some kind of early ARC, but it's definitely a first edition. Strange that it says not for resale. That's usually what that means, is it's a publisher's copy, but would have been nicer if it was signed too, but don't really know Thomas Pynchon's work, though this book seems to have some value regardless. $10 to $15 book, and it's in relatively pretty good shape. Although there's some stickiness back here. What the hell that is? Tree syrup. Let's move these back here. Fatima, Russia, and Pope John Paul II. I didn't look at what this book was about, but just the idea of Fatima and Russia was enough to interest me in possibly a World War III type scenario. I don't know if that's what it is, but see what it says. This book is in the first full-length account of how the end of the former Soviet Union is attributable to the hand of God through the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary. The author shows how the events in Eastern Europe are connected to the request and prophecies Our Lady made at Fatima in 1917. Among the fascinating items included in the book are the reasons for Pope John Paul's decision to consecrate Russia to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, Sister Lucia's statements on the consecration, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so it's about Russia in that way. I thought it was going to be like a apocalyptic thing, but no such luck. The Liar's Tale, A History of Falsehood by Jeremy Campbell. A book too disturbing to be ignored. Playing the truth game. In the Victorian era, there was a mocked tendency to treat language as divine, a supernatural gift Darwin's theory could not come closer to explaining. The title font is absolutely strange, but the book itself looks rather interesting. Does it say werewolf? I just see bloody werewolf. No, feral world. I was close though. Feral werewolf. Yeah, it's got some issues, but never seen the book before, so I got it. Here's a good one. The Psychology of Handwriting. Secrets of Handwriting Analysis. This makes it a perfect candidate for... Oh, it just fucking page just fell out. See, that's the problem with these split bindings. You mess with the page, there it is. They're all coming out. Well, I mean, I'm not selling this one anymore. I wasn't planning to anyway, but I have quite a few books about handwriting analysis, and now they're free. They're free. Free of their binding. That's why you never buy a book that has a broken spine. Pages will eventually come out. And we will see if I can just, this will be a candidate for a later read, depending on how long I eventually live. I will get to this one. Paul Tremblay, The Beast You Are Stories. I savored this collection. I've never read anything like it, but now I want more. Just another book that's in the $10 resale range, so don't know anything about Tremblay as far as I know. It's from 2023, so I figured I can't go wrong. Picked it up, looked it up, and it shows that it's got some resale value. So if I don't care for it, which I likely won't, it's always resellable. Tibetan Magic and Mysticism by J.H. Brennan. Generations of isolated Tibetan monks have devoted their lives to an unparalleled investigation of the human mind and soul over many centuries as Buddhism blended with Bon, the aboriginal shamanic religion of Tibet. A great esoteric tradition evolved in this revised and expanded version of occult Tibet. The prolific and eclectic J.H. Brennan surveys this vast spiritual heritage born in the shadows of the Himalayas. The Rum Diary by Hunter S. Thompson, another book that didn't show up on my LibBib, even though I think I might have a copy. I don't know. I also found this inside a book on poetry. Looked like a textbook from May 1968, best-selling paperbacks. Rosemary's Baby, The Eighth Day by Thornton Wilder, Studs Terkel, Gore Vidal, Washington, D.C. The King by Morton Cooper, Louis Nizer, The Jury Returns, The Pearl, Anonymous, Most Private Aerobics, The Plot, Irving Wallace, The Captain, Ruth Montgomery, A Search for the Truth, Down These Mean Streets, Peary Thomas, Why We Are in Vietnam, Northern Mailer, The Lomo Combe Papers, Herman Wouk, Silver Hill, Phyllis Whitney, Patricia Wells, Baby Hip, and The Anthem by Noel B. Gerson. Fight boredom. Support your favorite authors. Author. Legally correct fairy tales. Since I have the politically correct one, now I have the legally correct one. Bedtime classics translated into the legalese. Let's see how one of these goes. Regarding Snow White Inc., notice to cure under penalty of law. This is an official complaint issued by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission of this kingdom to inform and notify Snow White Inc. that you are in violation of kingdom laws prohibiting discrimination, that you have failed to comply with prevailing equal employment statutes. And I cannot turn the fucking page for the life of me, bruv. That you must cease and desist such policies that have resulted in the issuance of this citation and take immediate steps to cure any and all listed violations. Whereas and therefore the king... Probably should have looked through it before I grabbed it, and I probably wouldn't have grabbed it, bruv. Anyway, that's all. Hopefully I'm done for this week with book buying, although I feel like I'm not. Goodbye, bruv.